Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video we will have our discussion on the most mysterious but the strongest planetary force, which is the planet Ketu. So guys, definitely on this channel we have had our discussion on Ketu on so many levels. Whether it's about the general case studies, the general informational videos which I upload, or whether whenever I have to talk anything about the transit. But guys, just because I always give you the backstory, what led me to any topic. So the whole vibration of this year 2023 is of number 7. After that, like yesterday whole day we were kind of glued to television watching India's Independence Day celebration and all. So India celebrated its 77th Independence Day. Even today it's 16th, 1 plus 6 which is 7. So somehow Ketu energy was all around me. I also do one complete mala japa of the Ketu Gayatri as well every day. So because of which I just got intrigued that okay, we can have our discussion on Ketu, but on something which we have not talked before. So guys, in this video we will try to go little bit further, but like the way this thing, that it is always very difficult to talk with confidence, with accuracy whenever it comes down to the 8th house or the notes. That is the only reason these two entities, 8th house and Rahu Ketu, are the surprise elements. So guys, in this video whatsoever I will be talking about, I will be looking forward to your suggestion. So do not take this video as whatsoever I'm saying over here, it has to match in your life. Please feel free to contradict me and write what actually has happened in your life or whatever you have experienced. So that is the only reason guys, like when it comes down to the legends amongst the astrology, why we all respect K.N. Rao sir the most, because the way K.N. Rao sir used to explain things, because like he's the founder of the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan as well, from where even I did my courses as well. Like whenever I watch any of the astrologers talking about any of the astrology principles, many times what people do is that they include philosophy, mythology, mystery, life experiences, politics. Definitely I have interest in all these subjects, so for me or for my ears that looks good, but that is not the real astrology. And the good part or the distinctive part about the Shri K.N. Rao sir was that even in his school he used to say this thing, like some of his students, I have even watched their video as well, and they used to say this thing that K.N. Rao sir was like, if I have to present any principle to K.N. Rao sir, he will say, okay, can you prove this principle in 10 charts? Can you prove this principle in 100 charts? If you are saying that Venus in this house, in this sign, in this nakshatra contributes to love marriage, can you show me in that in the 50 charts? So unless and until you do not have that level of research and accuracy, then I would say it's always good to go by the science of probability or look forward to other people's contribution. So this is how guys, my request that take this video in this slide, because when it comes down to Rahu and Ketu, many times we are left with no option other than using some hard language or some hard predictions. So all what I'm saying over here is that do not take it as it is, take it with a pinch of salt, and whatsoever is like getting valid in your life, please feel free to write it in the comment section. Second thing is that guys, before even we will start, I would say that in this discussion I will not be putting more emphasis on Ketu's placement in the houses, rather than Ketu's zodiac sign I will be giving more emphasis, because guys, Rahu and Ketu are like imaginary points. That is the only reason even there is a debate in the astrology community that whether we shall be taking the aspect of Rahu and Ketu or not. I never take the aspect of Rahu and Ketu. Second thing is that, so if they do not have a physical body, so a house will not be able to kind of encapsulate their true signification. But yes, zodiac sign in the case of Rahu and Ketu will become more important. So that is the one point. Second thing is that guys, even before we will start our discussion, so first of all, it becomes very important for you to understand that whenever we are talking about a planet, is that planet the most important archetype in your life or not? So in which all cases can Ketu become important in your life? So that's very simple. If you will find that someone who is born on 7th of any month, 16th of any month, 25th of any month, if Ketu is placed in your first house, if your moon nakshatra is of Ketu, Ashwini, Magha, Mula, or your ascendant lord is conjunct with Ketu, so in these kind of cases we can say this thing that yes, Ketu has got a strong say in the life of that person. Or this could be case that your birth took place in your maternal grandfather's house, or in your family your maternal grandfather has got a very strong contribution in your life, or your birth took place in some unusual circumstances. So all of that can be attached with the prominence of Ketu. Guys, I still remember with the Genghis Khan, it has been written in his biography that when he was born with a clot of blood in his clenched fist, because of which there was this kind of a shaman in his tribe who predicted that this kid in his lifetime will be responsible for the many bloodshed. So that is the only reason, guys, I always say this thing: all those people who are the face reader, past life regression, faith healers, therapy, anything which is done intuitively is somehow connected with the Ketu. So okay guys, let's just start our discussion. So what are the attributes of Ketu? So you know that Ketu, which represents mystery, Ketu represents spirit world, Ketu represents your maternal grandfather, Ketu represents going to the depth of anything. Ketu in a way represents your psychic intuitive awareness. Ketu is a planet of rejection because it has been believed that wheresoever Ketu is placed, in that area your soul already has got enough knowledge and expertise. But the good thing is that wheresoever Ketu is going to be placed in your chart, that is a kind of a window which can give answers to all the past life deeds of yours. After that, guys, because of this aspect of Ketu, a lot many times it has been seen that wheresoever Ketu is going to be placed in your chart, it can actually deny the signification of that house, but for your own good. It might be acting as a hindrance in your soul purpose or in your life path. After that, Ketu is also connected with your true intent, like the way, because Ketu represents spirit world, so that is the only reason that if you are very much attuned to nature, connected with nature, and whatsoever you are doing with a very pious intent, so Ketu will give you very good results. And guys, when it comes down to fame, when it comes down to recognition, so Rahu can actually make you go viral, it can create a hype around you, it can also make you millionaire. But again, Ketu actually gives you monopoly in your field, like in whichever field you will be operating, you will be the first person or the best person known in that specific field. So best in any field is or has more to do with Ketu than the sun. After that, guys, so yes, these are some of the qualities. And also, guys, when we talk about anything to do with the nature, or all those people who become a victim of any of the natural disaster or calamity, that is also connected with the Ketu. Like all those people who get electrocuted, like electric shock and all, who die because of electric shock, or any of the thunderstorm and all, lighting, fire lighting and all, that is also somehow connected with the Ketu only. And also, guys, in lot many cases, the nodal axis is also responsible for all those people who commit suicide as well. So there has been a difference in the way the suicide has been committed. Like for example, Rahu generally represents all those people who hang themselves, but Ketu represents like those people who jump from the bridge and any those kind of suicide attempts. But the case over here is that if someone has got a very prominent Ketu, we will discuss those placements, and that person is already showing the signs of depression and all, then it is very much advisable to not to leave that person alone. Because if Ketu is prominent, because a lot many times it has been seen that people strongly in the influence of Rahu, even if they are attempting it, a lot many times either their attempts are being like controlled, they are got saved, but a prominent Ketu can actually take away your life as well, or you might succeed in your suicide attempts as well. After that, guys, any of the spirit possession, paranormal or third power related problem is also connected with Ketu. And yes guys, these are some of the attributes which can be attached with the Ketu. Now let's just start our discussion. So how you can see if you will find Ketu to be placed in the Aries. So guys, because over here, like the way it is a research forum, and I will be looking forward to your views if you have this placement, because if, nothing could be better than that, your personal account, because that cannot be denied. So guys, over here we will be trying to look more forward to looking at your ancestry, first from that point of view. Second, that what specific area of your life could be hidden, could be denied, could be mysterious. So guys, a lot many times it has been seen that people who have Ketu in the Aries, their maternal grandfather, he could be a very strong force to reckon with. Like he could be the chief of his tribe, of his department, of his position, and he might be connected with any of the armed forces as well. But the thing over here is that because Aries is a sign where Mars is also strong, where Sun also attains exaltation, so because of which a lot many times it has been seen that the maternal grandfather tend to remain a reputed figure. Second thing is that guys, because Aries is the original Kalpurush Kundli's first house, first sign. Second thing is that because of the involvement of Mars over here, involvement and presence of Ketu over here, so it generally tells about that wheresoever you have Ketu Aries, in whichever house you have this placement, you might have that scar or any of the cut or wound in that body part wheresoever it is going to be placed. Third thing is that guys, in lot many cases, like the way very soon you will get to know that when we talk about any of the spirit related problem, so a lot many times we are still in a safe zone, but this is a kind of a alignment or presence where any of the spirit, if you are in some kind of malefic influence, your chart, your moon and the whole, again guys, whenever these kind of alignments are happening, you will not find one indication, you will find the whole chart will be pointing in that direction. So there is also a stronger tendency for those spirits to even physically harm you as well. So yes guys, these are some of the assessment which can be made, and I will look forward to your views on this. Let's move forward. Now if you will find a Ketu to be placed in the Taurus sign, so guys, as you know that Taurus is a sign which is being ruled by the planet Venus, and definitely more than the Libra, it's the Taurus which manifests more of the beautiful side of the planet Venus. So that also tells about that your maternal grandfather might be very rich, he might be very wealthy, he might be appreciator of art and collector of beautiful things. Second thing is that guys, with this kind of alignment, generally it has been seen that like native have got this capacity to somehow bring out the tradition and values or access some of the latent talents from the past lifetime as well. That is the second way of looking at it. Third point over here is that guys, a lot many times it has been seen that generally the natives treatment or natives experiences with the woman in this lifetime might be somehow connected with the past, like the way, for example, like all those people in their first half of the life, you kind of betrayed someone, and then because of some curse or something happened, and like again guys, the concern over here is that if with this kind of placement, if Venus is also not well placed in the chart, so woman in the life of the native will be the source of maximum problem and maximum trouble for sure. Again guys, this is a kind of a placement which can create more obstacle in a man's chart compared to in a woman's chart. And definitely with this kind of alignment, it is always advisable to worship the feminine divine, like the worship of the goddess Durga, worship of the goddess like Saraswati can be considered. After that, guys, let's say for example, if you have Ketu placed in the Gemini sign. So guys, over here, first of all, it also tells about that your maternal grandfather might be some sort of promoter of some cause or promoter of some specific thing. Now this could be religious as well, this could be that he might be a pioneer, he might be a crusader in any form. But yes, this is a kind of a typical placement which validates this thing, that there might have been something specific regarding which your maternal grandfather might be very obsessed, or he might be a strong advocate of that specific philosophy, thing or institution or anything. Second thing is that, guys, this is a kind of a placement where generally we say this thing that because Gemini somehow represents in the Kal Purush Kundlis our hand. And generally we say this thing because, guys, like if there is only one planet which can be responsible for completely cutting off thing, like the way people say this thing that Mars is responsible for accidents, injuries and wounds and all, surgeries and all, Ketu also represents that. But the concern over here is that, or the alarming thing is that, Ketu can actually completely amputate a part, a body part. So because of which generally for all those people who are working in any of the field where working with the equipment, heavy machinery is involved, generally caution and care needs to be followed. And yes, guys, and yeah, I guess I covered everything. And again, guys, because Gemini also represents your frivolousness, Gemini also represents your quick thinking. So a lot many times these are among those people where their moves are very difficult to plan or very difficult to predict. So let's say for example, if your opponent has got this kind of alignment, it might become very difficult for you to assess or read the moves of this person. After that, guys, let's say for example, if you will find Ketu to be placed in the Cancer. So this is a kind of alignment which first of all tells about that your maternal grandfather, he might be very intuitive, he might be very psychic as well, and he might have at one stage of his life, he might have migrated in his lifetime. Like a lot many times, like if I were to even share my experience as well, my maternal grandfather, like they started their life from the village, from the Uttarakhand, and then after that he moved to the city, he got himself educated, got a government job and retired from a senior position. So, and just because my maternal grandfather was also he had a Scorpio prominence, and he was also in his whole life he worked in the gems and mineral industry and all, so mining and all. So yes, so that is the one indication which we get about the maternal grandfather. Second thing is that, guys, this is a kind of a typical placement where channeling becomes very, very important. Like the way, for example, if the overall chart is very intuitive, like let's say for example, you are a Cancer Lagna with Ketu in the first house and the ascendant lord moon is placed in the 8th house, and imagine if it is also placed in the Sadbisha Nakshatra, then this is a typical alignment where it's very easy for native to kind of communicate with the spirits, with the other dimension. Again, guys, in lot many ways on daily basis. Like for example, if I'm talking about astrology, making calculation on astrology, there is a section where at the end, after assessing everything, I need to call help or surrender it to the divine voice, to my Ish Devta. But all those people who do tarot reading and other things, it has something to do with your guardian angels or the spirits guiding you. So yes, guys, that is the another thing which we get to know. Also, guys, this is a kind of a placement which also tells about that you might also demonstrate strong qualities equivalent akin to your mother as well. So some sort of strong karmic connection with the mother, that either native is very well supported, well nourished, well supported by the mother, or there is a very distant separative relation with the mother can be foreseen with this kind of alignment. After that, guys, if you will find Ketu to be placed in the Leo, so beyond doubt, guys, it is a very good combination. Like, that is the only reason people with the prominence of the Magha, they tend to remain very quick and easy to reach the throne, reach the power and position. But guys, this also tells about that your maternal grandfather might be holding some important position in his lifetime. Like, this could be connected to the government, or this could be connected to in any field, but he will be definitely in some prominent place and well respected in the society or in the community. Again, guys, because as you know that Leo has got lot to do with the regality and royalty, and this is a kind of a placement which a lot many times promises ascension in the life of the native because of the inheritance, hereditary, birthright and all, which generally helps the native to reach the important places and be in contact and in network with the important people. After that, guys, if you will find Ketu to be placed in the Virgo, so this tells about that your maternal grandfather could be a very hard-working man. And guys, because Virgo is a earth sign as well, so something to do with the kind of mining, something to do with the agriculture, something to do with the farming, so he might have some connection over there as well. And after that, guys, beyond doubt, this is a kind of a typical placement which actually makes someone very hardworking in the life as well. And definitely these kind of hard work and hardworking skills is something which comes very naturally to you. And lot many times when people whenever they are introduced to something new, there are certain things and certain skills which they very quickly master. So that also tells about some sort of affinity with that skill which comes naturally from the past life as well. After that, guys, this is a kind of a twisted combination. After that, guys, now we will start our discussion on the rest of the half of the zodiac signs, over which 3 of the zodiac signs are going to be very sensitive. So first is the, if you will find Ketu to be placed in the Libra. So guys, this tells about that your maternal grandfather might have a very luxurious or very kind of flamboyant kind of lifestyle. Now again, guys, it all depends on culture, country, era we are talking about. Like, definitely if we are talking about the West, over there, even if your maternal grandfather has many girlfriends, he has got a very kind of a lascivious lifestyle, hedonistic lifestyle, he might be a womanizer, that might be very good. But when we talk about the same thing, let's say for example in some traditional community, it might be looked down upon there. But yes, this is what it tells about that exceptional love for the finer things in the life. Second thing is that, guys, just because this is a kind of a placement where like the way I mentioned this thing, that in lot many ways spirits are also described as the ones which never forgets you, which come after you, which try to exploit you. They are in lot many scriptures and texts have been described as feminine in nature. So this is a kind of a typical alignment where you might attract a spirit which is very voracious or which want to seduce you as well. Like, because a lot many times even spirit, they do not have the body, but they still have those desires in them, and they are looking for the gullible and vulnerable people to possess them and to fulfill those desires and appetites and all. So yes, guys, this is a kind of a typical placement which a lot many times attract the spirit of the opposite sex with some sort of seduction which could be involved. So again, guys, it is very difficult to say this thing again. All these things can only happen if your overall chart is indicating like that. Your ascendant lord is placed in the 8th house, your moon is conjunct with Rahu, placed in the nakshatra of Rahu, then that can tell about you have Pitra dosha in your kundli. That in itself tells about that yes, this chart is prone and vulnerable towards the third power related intervention. So then along with that, if you will find Ketu to be placed in Libra, that could tell about or that could indicate in that direction. And yes, guys, this is a kind of a typical placement where native might have some intimacy related concern. Like, either this could be that native is obsessed with them, or this could be that native completely rejects them, kind of denounce them. So that can also be attached with this kind of placement. After that, guys, if you will find Ketu to be placed in the Scorpio, so yes guys, first of all, this tells about that your maternal grandfather might have something to do with the research, with the exploration. He might be a very intense personality, might be someone who is invested in mining, in anything to do with the occult and tantra. He might be a part of some secretive society and all. So this is how we can attach for all those people who have Ketu placed in the Scorpio. But again guys, this is not vulnerable because Ketu has got the co-rulership of the Scorpio as well. So over here it is not telling about defamation, or it is only telling about that in whichever capacity or field you will be associated with these esoteric fields, you might be well respected, or you could be an expert over there as well. After that guys, and again guys, because there is a lot of secrecy over here, so you might not be able to figure it out. Like with Ketu's placement in other signs, you can still inquire, you can figure it out. But for people who have Ketu in Scorpio, even if they will check with their parents or with their grandparents, they might not be able to get to the root of things. Along with that guys, definitely this is a kind of a placement which can actually make someone very good researcher, good explorer, but because Ketu, as per the Lal Kitab, also represents our reproductive organ, and Scorpio is also a sign which represents that. So definitely there are guys like many alignments which can indicate in that direction, that some sort of a mole, or like in Hindi we call it til. You might have that in your reproductive organ, or in many cases if Jupiter is also aspecting it, that reproductive organ or body part could be big as well, larger than the normal proportion. So many ways it has been explained over there. So that is something which you have to figure it out by yourself, and if you feel free to write it in the comment section as well. After that guys, if you will find Ketu to be placed in the Sagittarius sign, so guys, this is a kind of a typical placement which tells about that your maternal grandfather might be well respected in the society, in the community, and he might be a very God-fearing person as well. And this is a kind of a typical placement which I have generally seen with Ketu in the Sagittarius, that there is some sort of blessing of some Isht Devta or Kul Devi in their family lineage. Or this could be case that your maternal grandfather must have done some big ritual to please the gods, or like he might have kind of built a temple or anything in the name of honor the god, family god and all. But this is generally considered as a very good placement. And again guys, over here the good part over here is that whatsoever faith and philosophy native will follow, he will very rapidly progress over there, and native will definitely have innate curiosity and strong interest in anything to do which is connected with the supreme power. After that guys, let's say for example, if you will find Ketu to be placed in the Capricorn. So yes guys, to begin with, this tells about that your maternal grandfather might be a very strong person in the community. Again, this also tells about that your maternal grandfather might have built something in the name of religion as well, or contributed strongly in the name of, or to build that religious institution and all. This could be temple, this could be church, this could be anything connected to your faith and belief. And also that guys, this also tells about that in this lifetime, native's career or his occupation or his identity, native might have to go through many of the changes, transformation, in order to find its true calling. Now guys, if you will find Ketu to be placed in the Aquarius sign. So guys, as you know that Aquarius is a sign which is very close to Lord Shiva. It is a sign which is very close to the ultra modern innovative measures and electricity, water. So with Ketu in the Aquarius, and if you will find that your ascendant is of any of the water sign, this could be Cancer, this could be Scorpio, this could be Pisces, this tells about that at one stage in the life, native might have almost drowned, or fear of drowning native might have occurred at least once in their life. So that is something which you have to validate or confirm in the comment section, that if you have Ketu in the Aquarius, did it happen to you or not. Second thing is that, guys, definitely when it comes down to figuring out about your maternal grandfather, it also tells about that your maternal grandfather might be a big spokesperson, or might be a very big congregator or an organizer of some very big movement. So that is also a lot many times has been seen. And just because, guys, Aquarius is a very mystical sign, so this also tells about that some sort of secretive society, some sort of interest in occult. And again, guys, all these kind of sadhanas are generally done in secrecy, so that can also be attached with this placement of Ketu in the Aquarius. And also, guys, yeah, these are the couple of things which I have distinctively seen in lot many cases, apart from other things which we keep on discussing in our regular videos. I just wanted to make this video a little bit going in the depth of the secretive side of the Ketu. And lastly, guys, if you will find Ketu to be placed in the Pisces, so again, guys, this is a very good combination, very good placement. The only one thing is that, okay, let's talk about the good thing first. So it tells about your maternal grandfather that he might be very devout, and he might have sacrificed a lot for the sake of the society, community, or this could be family as well. We keep on coming across all those examples and inspirational figures in our family as well, that okay, your grandfather, he sacrificed for the country, or your maternal grandfather, he did so much just for raising up the whole family. So all of that can be attached. Strong sacrifice, lot many secrets, kind of a duality in the personality can also be seen as a part of the nature and characteristics of your maternal grandfather. Second thing is that, guys, like the way I was talking about that, with this kind of excess, divinity, nature, cosmos, any of the spirits, if you want to establish connection with them, if definitely your chart has to be eligible for that, your interest has to be that, and your efforts have to be in that direction. If everything is kind of fulfilling, then definitely you can do very good in all of that. In any of the ascension, you can be very good in that. Your intuitive faculties might be very good in that. But the only concern is that with this kind of placement, if the overall chart is indicating a personality, someone who has got a very highly strung nature, someone who has got a very kind of depression prone nature, then this is also a sign of all those people who at one stage of their life they attempt suicide. So again, this is very much prone towards that as well. So yes, guys, this is a kind of a placement where the pros and cons are both very extreme. So yes, guys, this is something which I wanted to say. I have already made this thing clear at the beginning of this video, that I do not take any guarantee of the combinations explained by me over here. It is an open research forum. I will be looking forward to how much has been getting valid in your case, or what exactly is the truth with Ketu's placement in the sign in your case. This will definitely give us enough material to get to the depth of the planetary vibration. So okay, guys, for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.